Hey everybody, Brock here. I wanted to make a video on debt and why it's so harmful to you. And usually we talk about stocks, but I want to talk to you about the issue that debt can have because it's directly correlated to the more money you make or the less debt you have, the more you can put in stocks. So let's take a look at that. So right off the bat, if this is the amount of money you make, you can put this much into stocks every month. Well, if you get a promotion or you get a raise, that also increases the amount you can put in the stock market. If you decrease your expenses, your monthly expenses, you can increase the amount you put into the stock market as well. However, if debt keeps growing, you can't put more in the stock market. So it'll decrease the amount you can put in the stock market. Because if you don't pay attention to this debt, it's going to keep growing and growing and growing and get out of control. Okay? So, and then what will happen is this will grow and grow and get to a point where, oh man, I have so much debt, but I can use the stock to pay this off, and boom, you have just canceled out all your capital. And at the end of the video, I'm going to explain to you why you don't want to do that. Okay, so let's say we have $10,000 in credit card debt, and it's the credit card is 25% interest. Interest is what they charge you to leave that to you use that money to buy things. You added up that amount, and they're using their money to pay off whoever you bought it from. But you owe them interest. That's what they're going to charge you each month to hold that that account amount. So let's take a look. If you paid off and set a plan to pay $500 a month, it would take you 27 months. That's 2 years, 3 months. You're missing out on a lot of action in the stock market, and you're missing out on a lot of money that you could be putting towards the stock market. So just based off the interest here, I added it up, and it comes out to $3,057. That's a good amount of money that you could put in the stock market. What if you put $3,000 into Apple? What would that turn into in 2.5 years? What if you put it into AMD? What if you put it into Tesla? All these companies are going to grow over the next 2.5 years. So that's what I want to show you. So right off the bat, this right here, this is tough, and I know you're at least making payments, but it still sucks. It's $3,000, right? So what is a way that you can keep that $3,000? Well, Citibank, and there's many cards like this, offer something called a balance transfer. What this says is that you can have a 0% intro APR for 18 months on a balance transfer. After that time, it'll come to this APR, whatever, okay? So let's take a look at this debt calculator. So I already showed you if you had no help and it's accruing interest, this is what it would be, right? That kind of sucks. And you're spending $3,057 that you didn't want to spend, right? So let's see and I calculated 18 months, if you paid $500 a month, that would come out to $9,000. So how much money would you have to pay on this? Well, if you pay $500 a month, you would have to pay it for 2 months after that 18 months. So, and that's everything except for these 2 months is interest free. So that means of this $3,057, you only paid about $30 of interest. So 1% of this is what you actually paid. So that's a cool way to bring your debt balance down. It's allows you to keep money that you don't want to keep on spending and throwing at this. Also, this takes a lot less time. It saves you about half a year on your payments and a lot less interest, like I said. Okay, so why does all that matter? So I mentioned in the beginning of the video here about how you don't want to just raise your stocks to throw it at debt. Why? Okay, well, let's take a look here. Let's say you have a beginning debt balance of $25,000. So let's start off with 1 year. What does that become if you put $500 a month into this account? Well, that becomes $37,000. Your starting amount is a lot, right? Like that's a big piece of the pie chart, 67%. It's mostly your money. You made some money here. Total contributions and interest, you're making some money, okay? Let's take a look at it in 10 years. What does it look like? Well, that blue piece got very, very small, and your interest got very, very big. So now you're up to $369,000 with a starting amount of $25,000 and a $500 monthly contribution. Okay, well, what is it at 20 years? Congratulations, you're now a millionaire, multi-millionaire. And look at that, 95% is what was grown. Your money has made money for you. This is great. Now, let's look at what happens. Let's say you start with $25,000 and you decide after 3 years, how much do you have? Okay, well, I have $69,000 and I have $65,000 of debt. Okay, cool. Let's do that same calculation, but now your starting amount is $4,722 because you had to pay off that debt because you didn't pay it. How much is that worth in five? So we did 3 years. So let's look at 20 years. How much money do you have now? Wait a minute. That's not a million. That's not a multimillionaire. That's right, because it compounds based on your initial capital. So if you take that money out, you are going to lose a lot of what you've earned, and it's not going to be as much. That is why I tell everyone, leave your long-term accounts alone. So, back to the main lesson at hand. Get rid of debt. Pay monthly payments above the minimum. Pay more than the interest rate. And if you can, get one of these cards that give you 0% APR for a balance transfer. That way you're not paying interest and not paying extra money that could be going to the stock market. All right, guys, I'm sure there'll be questions on this. Please message me, leave comments, and I will answer any questions you have. All right, I want to see you guys succeed. I want to see you guys reach financial freedom, but there's only one way to do it, and that is to eliminate high interest rate debt like credit cards. Okay? Please ask me questions. I'm here to help. All right, take it easy, everybody. Bye.